guys, today I'm going to be doing the New York Time by the Book tag. I saw this on Jessie the Reader's channel and it just was very entertaining and the questions were fun, so I decided to do it. And now we're going to go in and get into the questions because my camera battery is dying. The first question is, what book is currently on your nightstand? And for this one I have two. The first one is Passenger by Alexandra Bracken because I'm finally getting around to reading it. I'm a little over 100 pages in and I'm thoroughly enjoying it and I'm very excited to see where the story is going, and I'm just happy that I'm finally getting around to this. The second book on my nightstand is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I already finished reading it. It's just difficult for me to part with it. Like, I haven't been able to let it leave my side for a couple of days now, so it's just going to keep on hanging out on my bookstand, possibly until Crooked Kingdom comes out. The next question is, what was the last truly great book that you read? And for this one, I am going with A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This book was phenomenal. It was tremendously phenomenal. I want to reread it, but there's just so many books in the world right now that I have to just keep reading, because also, if I reread this, I'm just going to get completely sucked into this world, and I can't afford that right now. I got responsibilities, man. The next question is, if you could meet any writer, dead or alive, who would it be, and what would you ask them? And for this one, I'm going with Sarah J. Maas, because I'm a piece of Sarah J. Maas trash. And I would probably ask her where she came up with this idea for all these incredible characters and storylines, including A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm just holding up Queen of Shadows because it's the longest series that she has out right now, and she just flows everything together so perfectly, and she just has tons of plot twists. And there's enough predictions going on in this entire series, but you never really know what's going on. Like, we can choose things that we think is going to happen and secrets and plot clues that are in all of the series, but you never really know, and I just want to ask her how she's just such an incredible author and where all of her inspiration and knowledge comes from. The fourth question is, what is a book that we would be surprised to find on your bookshelf? And I have a lot for this one, so I narrowed it down to 4. I realize that's not very narrow, but we narrowed it down to 4. The first one is Golden Retriever, with a free DVD and coupons worth $20 inside. I have a lot of dog books on my bookshelf because I love dogs and animals and golden retrievers. I have a lot of dog books. Next, I have Miley Cyrus Miles to Go, which, by the way, I read in like 2008, I think, when it first came out, and I loved it. I haven't read it since then, but I remember loving this when I was 10. The third book is Coke and Pepsi, the 3rd edition. Because you always got these at book fairs and then had all your friends fill them out, and I just think it's entertaining, and I actually haven't gone back and reread it in years, but I don't know, it's entertaining, it's just there. I bought it and now it's there. Lastly, I have this tiny little book hardcover edition of Beauty and the Beast, because Disney. I don't know, I have, look at the pretty little children. It's this tiny little Beauty and the Beast book. It cracks me up. The next question is, how do you organize your personal library? And when I first moved into this house, there's like built-in bookshelves in the next room over, and I had it alphabetical by author because I wanted it to be like an actual library. Since then, I've obviously gotten this bookshelf, and this is kind of just like, my favorite books are going to be more in the eye level zone, and this one's up here because there's so many books. I really need another bookshelf also. I'm running out of space. I wish I could show you how much space I don't have. This thing is full and packed and unorganized. It kind of makes me want to cry. And it's not organized by like color. I've always wanted to try the rainbow bookshelf deal, but just thinking of my series separated from their series companions just makes me really sad. So it's kind of just visual and like favorite books at eye level zone. The next question is, what book have you always meant to get around to reading and you just haven't yet? And for this one, I'm going with The Raven Boys, because I don't know. I think one thing that scares me is that Maggie Stiefvater wrote Shiver, and I just never got into Shiver, and I'm scared that this is supposed to be such an incredible series and that I'm not going to get into it. And the entire series is out, so I don't know why I haven't read it, because I love reading series where all the books are out, because there's no waiting, but I don't know. I just haven't gotten into it. I haven't even really heard of any spoilers, so I probably should read it before there are spoilers in my brain from the internet. Disappointed, overrated, just not good. What book did you feel like you were supposed to really enjoy and you just didn't? And this one's hard for me because I don't not enjoy very many books. Like, it takes a lot for me to hate a book. But off of my bookshelf, I'm going with Paper Towns by John Green. Maybe it's because I'm not much of a contemporary reader. Maybe it's just because I was kind of bored and the storyline didn't grab my attention very much. And also the ending. I mean, I liked that it wasn't predictable, but at the same time, it was just, like, unrealistic. I don't know. The next question is, which stories are you drawn to and which do you tend to stay away from? I'm naturally drawn to fantasy novels. Any historical fiction novels I'm obsessed with. Fantasy and historical fiction are probably the two biggest ones. High fantasy? Like subcategory fantasy, high fantasy. Books that I stay away from are probably contemporaries. Not because I don't enjoy them, but just because if I go to a bookstore, the first thing I'm drawn to is like the fantasy section. Or books with faces on the cover. I know that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but just sometimes faces just like staring at you. Like human faces. If it was a dog face, I'd probably buy the book without even trying to figure out what it was about. But, like, human faces just staring at me from a book kind of freaks me out. Because what if I really like it, and I want to display it, like, with the cover out, but I can't, because then a face would be watching me sleep, and that's just creepy. I'm completely off topic now, but you get the point. If you could require the president to read one book, what would it be? I really wanted to go with The Book Thief on this one, but I feel like the president doesn't need that kind of sadness. But then again, I picked Throne of Glass. So he doesn't need this kind of sadness either. I don't know. I'm just throwing this book at everybody that I see recently. I've read the book like nearly a year ago, but if I see someone and they haven't read it, I'm like, read the book! And I throw it at their face. I actually made my friend buy it the other night, and now I'm forcing her to read it. I would want to talk to the president about who his favorite characters were and why, and where does he think the plot is going, and how much does he love Dorian compared to me, because it's probably not even close. Hi, Mr. President, read this book. And the last question is, which book do you plan to read next? And I plan to read The Queen of the Tearling, because I put it in my TBR, and then I started reading Passenger, and I'm not quite sure why. Because I was really in the mood for this, but now I'm in the middle of Passenger, and I don't like reading more than one book at a time. I'm in the middle of Passenger, and I'm like, man, I wish I was reading Queen of the Tearling, but I really love Passenger, and I'm just conflicted. I'm very conflicted at the moment. In every video that I talk about this book, I have to talk about how beautiful it is, so here we go. We've got these nice, authentic, vintage pages. We have a beautiful, soft cover with a castle on a mountain and, like, decorations around the side. We have a red silk bookmark. It's gorgeous. I want to read this book simply because of how gorgeous it is. We have a map on the inside in gold. Man, I don't know why I'm not reading this right now. Couple days, man, and I'll get to it. That is going to be it for my video today. I hope you enjoyed it and that you have a great time tackling your TBR. I hope you have a great day or night or what time it is, wherever you are, and thank you for watching.